Welcome back, BGS fans. Episode 17. This one is a very special one for me. Episode 17. 17 is my favorite number, as a lot of you guys know. Dinger City 17, Coby Rob 17. 17's been my number for a long time. So this one's really special to me. Mitch, great to see you again. It's been, 2 weeks since we last saw each other.
Yeah, I was had a little vacation with the parents, met them in Chicago and whatnot. But we're happy to be back on the pod.
Yep. Today we got NBA draft preview. Or no, not the preview. It's pretty much
Recap.
Yeah, recap. We got AFC South predictions, Olympic sports we think we could medal in, top 5 wide receivers in the NFL, and my bold take today. So
I got it all. And if you don't know, if you're new to the channel, please like, subscribe. We talk, all sorts of sports. We're going to focus mainly fantasy football coming up. But we want your support. Go like and subscribe. Let's road to 100. We're at 52. Starting out slow, but we're going to get going. So, I think if we can get a couple more sponsorships outside of Hopping Auto Body, Wild West Marketing, Clean Juice, we might be able to, really start to jump the ranks on the subscribers there. But we're going to get this thing going. So you ready to rock?
NBA draft, we were on the phone for this, by the way, everybody. Me and Mitch were talking about each pick, and
our buddy
curveball, Jalen Suggs, he fell like more than we would have thought, but I mean, he fell just one more pick. I mean, the Raptors, I don't know what they're thinking. In my opinion, I think Barnes is not going to be the next great thing for the Raptors. They're going to get rid of Kyle Lowry. I don't know if they think Mekhi Flynn is the second coming of Jesus, but
no, they got Fred VanVleet.
Yeah, I guess so. But I mean, when Jalen Suggs is on the board, to me, I feel like that was one of the best landing spots he could have gone to. But
100%. For all you guys that know, obviously me and Coby and our buddy Colton, we put out our mock drafts, and let's just say the NBA teams suck. They should think like we do if they want to be good. But no, I don't get it either. It's like, I guess what they want to do now in Toronto is just play defense on defense because that's what Scotty Barnes is good at, and you got Pascal Siakam. I don't really know what they're going to do there. Like you said, Lowry's probably going out of there. They got to make a decision on Gary Trent Jr., and then you just draft somebody that has if you watch him play, he doesn't really have any offensive potential right now. Like his shot's pretty much broken. He's kind of like a Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. In my opinion, it's like drafting Kyle Anderson with the 4th overall pick. Would you rather have Kyle Anderson or Jalen Suggs, who, he's compared? Who knows? He could bust. They all have bust potential. But, at that point, it's almost best value. And the Magic we're we can screw up the draft, but we're not going to this year.
Right. Yeah, and to me, I have a couple teams I have written down just for the best drafts. And I think the Pistons obviously had a great draft. Getting – Cade Cunningham, arguably, one of the best prospects we've seen in a while. Zion, obviously, but Cade Cunningham, honestly, dude, he's one of the best basketball players we've seen. He's not as athletic or that typical just massive athlete at the number 1 overall pick, but dude, that kid can ball. And then they got Luka Garza late in the draft, which I thought was really interesting. I don't know.
Oh, I didn't know he went. I was hoping he was going to go.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that you went to bed early, but Luka Garza is now a Piston, so I thought that was pretty interesting, man. He can go in there and play right away. He's gonna be slow up and down the court, but once he gets down the court, I think he can score and do some stuff for the Pistons.
No, I agree, and I think too, from winner standpoint, obviously Detroit getting, a lot of people will say he's the best player in the draft, and then it was between him and kind of Mobley, Jalen Green. But I think the Rockets with a really good pick getting Jalen Green, but they also went and got Sengun late in the first round at 17, I think. And then they got that other guy from the other huge center. I don't remember. I don't want to butcher his name. Do you know how to say it?
I know who you're talking about. It's that 6'9" guy from France, but I didn't know how to say his name. I just put Jacob is another pick that they had.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That's an okay pick, but hold on. I got to think of this guy's name. But anyways, the Rockets, I think that was a fantastic draft for them. They got a couple guys that they could build around. Obviously, and Jalen Green could, hopefully take I mean, a lot of people think he can score kind of like T-Mac, which is kind of interesting because he got obviously drafted where T-Mac played for quite a few years. So
It's Usman Garuba or whatever.
there it is, Garuba, yeah. So, I mean, it's funny to me because I was listening to another podcast and they were saying, like, do you want to draft Garuba if you're an NBA team? And it's like, you do because he's so good, but you also have to – what comes with him is he's the slowest player in the NBA. So
hey,
it's gonna,
Garza, I think, might
yeah, it's going to be a race between him and Garza for the slowest time.
Right.
I also think, obviously, the Cavaliers were a really good pick. Evan Mobley, in my opinion. Obviously, I'm a USC homer. I think he's going to be the best player, but he's legit. So that's a win for them.
Yep. I also have the Hornets as winners. I mean, they got James Bouknight late, dude. I mean, he was the top 6 pick, and then they also got Kai Jones. I think he's going to be great with the pick and roll with LaMelo. I think
Kai Jones is going to be kind of like in my opinion, he's going to be a low level, like Dwight Howard. He's going to catch lobs. Like that's what he's going to do.
Right. And then I also have the Nets as winners, which
our favorite player. Me and Coby share this opinion.
Yep.
Our favorite player in the draft outside of, well, for me, Evan Mobley, but Cam Thomas, an absolute bucket.
Yep.
Shout out Ryan Russillo. On this stat, I believe he was 16 games in the SEC where he had 1 or 0 assists, but 20 points a game. So he's just going to lead that team in just bucket getting.
Right. I mean, he can be that Karis LeVert that they had at the beginning of the year before they traded everything for James Harden. I think he's going to be a bucket getter off the bench. And then they also got my guy Day'Ron Payne from North Carolina. They needed a big guy, man, and I don't know if he's going to be inserted in the starting lineup right away, but they needed some big guys, and he's a really good big guy, man. So I'm excited for him. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I think we agree there on a couple winners. I think the Warriors, I think, are kind of losers, in my opinion, because you had a chance to – your team's coming back healthy. You had a chance at 7 and 14 to get at least 2 solid players that could help you, and they took on kind of 2 projects. And Jonathan Kuminga, who's 18 years old, I get it. He's raw. He'll do something where all of a sudden he hits like a turnaround baseline jumper, and you're like, Jesus, like that's big time. And then he'll do something like this kid's 14 years old. So I don't know the project thing. And then Moses Moody, obviously 19, kind of a 3 perimeter player.
Right.
But I mean, if you watched him, he was terrible in the NCAA tournament. And I think that's why he fell to 14 was teams were kind of iffy about him. I mean, he had a couple games where he was like 4 for 20, and there was like a 3 for 18 piece in there. Kind of one of the reasons Arkansas didn't go as far as people thought. And I just think, like, if I'm the Warriors, if I'm Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and Draymond Green, you know, realistically, we've got, 2 or 3 more years of prime play, and who knows what you're going to get out of Klay if he can stay healthy. So I just thought, like, you know, somebody like Bouknight, somebody like Chris Duarte, who can come in and lead your bench crew and stuff and really help you right away, rather than getting 2 sort of projects, I guess, would be my opinion.
Even Davion Mitchell, too, given.
Yeah, and that was another team, the Kings. I don't know, what are they doing? Why Davion Mitchell?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's a great player. I definitely believe that he's a top, 5 talent in this draft for sure. But,
wow.
I do. I mean, the kid's talent. He won 3 different Defensive Player of the Year awards, dude. And he won.
I know, and I don't know if it's top 5, but, he's really good because now you have Tyrese Halliburton, De'Aaron Fox, and Davion Mitchell. Like, what are you going to do? I hope they flip. I think they should flip Fox, but that's just me.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they could, but, I mean, I don't know. Who knows with the Kings? I mean, they're definitely not winning now. So, I mean, that might be something.
I don't know. To all our listeners, our new listeners that we're going to get so many of you guys, our current listeners that view our videos, you know that my current state, I have no Wi-Fi, so I do podcasts at my work. And I also do laundry at my work because I have no washer, no dryer where I'm staying. So I'm going to take 5 and change my laundry over, and Coby's going to sit there and twiddle his thumbs.
All right. I guess we'll see you in a sec. Mitch is back from his potty break. Mitch, you have one more thing.
Potty break, as always. Yeah, if you guys pay, obviously, like we said, NBA draft, they should have listened to us. But we did send out our mock drafts, and we were trying to predict who could be the most right for the picks. And Coby won that bet against me with an astonishing 3 out of 10 correct, and I came in second with a brutal 2 out of 10. So Coby won the bet, which I owe him now a crumble cookie. He's up 2-0, and he will be getting that tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. Yeah, so that's kind of but I don't know. Anything else on the NBA? I think the Magic are the biggest winners, in my opinion, outside of the other guys that got the best players. You got the best player at Bellevue, Jalen Suggs, and then they got Mo Wagner at 8 there too, which is pretty big time.
Yeah, I just wanted to add just one more thing. You guys all know I'm a Sixers fan. I was really ecstatic about our draft, really excited for Jaden Springer of Tennessee. I think he's going to bring something that we don't have, which is a point guard that can shoot. So really excited about that. That's all I wanted to say about that.
Shout out Memphis Grizzlies for reaching hard also for Zaire Smith, right? No.
Williams.
Zaire Williams, yeah. So anyways, that's the NBA draft. We know our listeners aren't huge on the NBA, and we're going to slowly get back to that NFL content, which we all crave for. But before we do that, just for kind of the spirit, we want to give you guys our list of 5 Olympic sports that we think we'd have the best chance to medal in our current state as human beings. So not without training for a year or whatever. If you were to throw us in the Olympic Games, Tokyo, right now, what are the 5 you think we could medal in? So, Coby, you want to start us off with number 1? Which one do you think you have the best chance in?
Oh, the best chance. So right now, best chance baseball, I would say, in my current state. This is only because I've played it my whole life. I still am around the game all the time, coaching and doing all that stuff. So I'd have to say baseball because at least I think I could nick it at least, maybe going in the batter's box. I know I can catch throws across the diamond. So baseball would be my number 1
Going to my list here, my number 1 is definitely going to be baseball as well. I mean, the same as you. I mean, it's something we played our whole life. I don't know. I have no idea how good those other countries are. I know for a fact the Japanese team would strike me out and make me look like a little girl.
Right.
But I mean, just from a current state of and where we're at, I'm going to go baseball as 1, and then I'll go to number 2. For me, I think I could. My best chance, second best sport is going to be handball.
Okay.
You just run up and down and you throw that thing. Again, it kind of our baseball background being somewhat athletic. At least I can throw a ball decently hard. So I think I've got a decent chance to help our team win if we were going to get thrown into that setting.
Right. And I also have handball in there at number 3. So that's my third one. But number 2, I have water polo. I say this because I am a fish in the water. And as you know, when we play dunk ball at my house, I am like a fish in that damn place. And
he's very good at it. I'm surprised you said water polo rather than not like a 50-meter freestyle or something.
I just say water polo because, I mean, watching that kind of stuff, it's basically you swim, but then you get to take it and throw it. And I'd like to.
Well, you have to tread water the whole time, right?
Right.
Okay.
And I think I can do that at an Olympic level, whether that's either just I think being a goalie would be tough, just sitting there, just treading water the whole time. But I'd like to go score a couple goals. That stuff's honestly really interesting to me. But water polo 2, handball 3, like you said, I mean, you just running up and down a court, throwing the ball as hard as you can at a goal.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know how much I guess technique that takes,
Right.
Obviously, the goalie is just sitting there like, God damn it, here we go again.
Yeah.
But you will not find swimming anywhere on my list. I am the world's worst swimmer. If you want, out of every Olympic sport, that's the one I would finish the worst in, by far. I was watching the 1500 last night. It takes 14 and a half minutes or whatever. It would take me 2 hours probably. I'm so bad at swimming. It's horrible.
Yeah.
But going my number 3 for me, I think would have to be shooting.
Yeah.
I've grown up around guns my whole life. I love to hunt with my dad and stuff. So I think I could somewhat compete, at least, have a chance at it, at least, to qualify or something. I don't know the exact extent of what they're shooting at or how many targets they have to hit or if it's time trials or whatnot, but I'm okay with that. So I think shooting would be my 3rd.
Yeah, you're a real good shot for sure.
Yeah. I know when to execute when needed.
4 for you?
4 is going to be triathlon.
Oh, okay. I mean, I could definitely see that for you. I mean, just overall, just athlete. Good.
The one again with the triathlon that I would struggle with would be swimming, but I think I could get it. I think I could do the other 2 pretty at a decent pace where swimming wouldn't hold me back too far. Granted, you guys that are listening, do not take this out of context. These guys are at the world peak of what they're doing. That's obviously their Olympics, but I think that if you were to force me to compete in something, I think triathlon would be my 4th best one.
Right. Mitch, like he said, shooting, that is not me. When me and Mitch went out shooting one time, I did point the pistol after I was done shooting right at all my friends. Not something that is very good, and I got yelled at very quickly. That was not very smart of me. But besides that point, I would say number 4 for me is volleyball. I think I can do a nice little set. Volleyball, maybe I could those nets are pretty high. I would not be able to spike it down like some of those guys. Those guys hit it hard.
Well,
But
are you going to go indoor or beach volleyball?
I'd say indoor because
Yeah,
beach
I could.
might trip over my own feet in that damn sand. But yeah, indoor I'll be setting bitches left and right. That's
You want to give them a little backstory that we used to play some mean
yeah,
volleyball?
no, I was gonna bring that up. Me and Mitch used to play some mean co-ed volleyball, and we would take those Division 5 opponents down. They'd be like, "Why are these young kids just playing against us? We're just spiking it down on these old people." It was awesome.
Hey, tuck it, Johnny.
Yep. Yeah. Kelly Dean, Mitch's mother, was a great setter for us, and
Oh yeah, she's an all-star.
but
Remember that guy? Hey, remember? Hey, tuck it, Johnny.
yeah, a little inside jokes there.
All right. And what's your 5th? Round us out.
My 5th is something that just is a massive curveball to you, but I only said this because it has it was pretty fun, and sailboating would be my 5th. And I have it requires no athletic anything. You just got to pull some strings and stuff like that.
That's all there is to it. I need it just like milk and udders.
It's just like milking a cow. I've done it millions of times in my life. So sailboating, I would not like it if there was a typhoon coming like there was in the Olympics. I don't know how I would handle that situation necessarily.
I didn't even know that was an Olympic sport.
Yeah, it wasn't. I remember watching it on the TV, and like they were.
How do you get into that? Like, how do you grow up? You're like, I want a sailboat. Like,
I don't know, but I thought it would be something easy to meddle in because of that situation. Maybe there's people that are just like, yeah, fuck it, I'll do sailboating. So that'd be me. Maybe I could get the gold, pull a couple strings, get first place going around the cones.
What are you gonna do this year? I'm gonna sailboat.
Yep. And I don't know how many countries even have a sailboating program. So that's me, gold medalist in 20.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way a country like, I don't even know, like Russia has a team. Like they're gonna go sailboat the Bering Sea. Like, all right, have at it, fellas. See ya.
Yeah, that's all me. Gold medal 2024. Watch out. Sailboat.
Good deal.
What's your 5th?
Now, I didn't think of volleyball, so I might have to change on the fly to volleyball, but as of right now, it stands, it's boxing.
Okay.
And I just think that I'd get knocked out in a heartbeat, but I think if I get pissed off enough, I might be able to get a little rage and like just go insane and try and knock somebody out.
Right.
Because everything else on that list looked way too hard. Like, there's no way I can BMX freestyle bike. There's no way I can do any of that shit. I can't do gymnastics, so
yeah.
I'm gonna say boxing, but volleyball's a good one because, I mean, we were tenacious playing against 55-year-old women in co-ed volleyball. So
the only reason why I thought about boxing, but then I was like, it's 3 rounds. There's hardly any knockouts in the boxing in the Olympics. And I mean, I'd have to luck out with one lucky punch, but I know right when I go here, I'm opening up my shit and I'm just getting rattled right here.
Oh yeah. No doubt.
Absolutely rattled.
But I was going to say golf too, but in my current state, there's no chance.
Nah, I slice it far too much to be able to.
Shout out Xander Schauffele for getting it done for the Americans. Appreciate that. Making us look good. But that's kind of our top 5 sports that we think we somewhat have a decent chance to be competent in.
Hey, definitely comment what you guys think you'd be good at in the Olympics.
Tweet at us if you think we're idiots, because I said boxing and Coby said sailboating, and you guys know about it. Like, let us know what you think.
Yeah, let me know if sailboating is actually way harder than I think, and I'm probably is. Mitch, going into the AFC South, going to NFL route, number 4 for the team I think is finishing in last. We've already talked about this before, but I would just like to reiterate. The Texans are going to be the worst team in football.
Yep.
They're finishing last in this division. They might win 1 game, maybe. I am hammering. Now the under is set at 4 games. The last time we talked, it was at 6.5. Now it's all the way down.
6.5? I never saw 6.5.
Yep, I bet it.
What the hell did they let you write that?
Yeah, I have 6.5. So that I'm feeling really, really good about. Now it's at 4. The Texans are going to be the worst team in football this year. I believe that they're going to be drafting Spencer Rattler next year's draft, and that is my fourth team in the AFC South.
Yeah, I'm in the same way. I mean, not really else. Not much you can say there. I mean, they're losing Deshaun Watson. He might not even play football anymore, but yeah, just gotta. I mean, they suck. That's all there is to it. They're finishing fourth.
Sorry, David.
Huh?
Sorry, David Coley.
Now, my third team.
Oh no.
I might say this because of what just happened.
Yeah, that's tough. I know.
It's so hard, and we don't know.
Right.
So because we don't know, I'm going to leave it as the Jags, but I'm almost tempted to put the Colts to finish third because, for you guys that don't know, Carson Wentz did something to his foot, and all they're saying is he's out indefinitely, and they have no idea when he's going to come back. And
whatever the hell that means.
Yeah, and I don't know what that means. And obviously they were good. They were decent with Jacoby Brissett a couple of years ago. They were able to compete. But I think the Jaguars are going to be better than people think. They've got a lot of good weapons. I think Urban Meyer's going to do a decent job. I mean, they've got a decent defense with Chase in over there. They got Miles Jack. They have last name Allen. What's his name? Josh Allen, the outside linebacker, not the quarterback for the Bills. They've got a decent defense, and I think on offense they're going to do some things that are going to surprise people. Trevor Lawrence is obviously unbelievable. They've got a decent offensive line. They've got James Robinson, Travis Etienne, DJ Chark, Laviska Shenault, Marvin Jones. Like, they've got a good group.
Tim Tebow.
So,
Tim Tebow.
Tim Tebow's going to catch the first touchdown of their season. Don't forget it. So I'm going to say them just because the Colts obviously are a better team, but it's tempting to put them at 2 with the news on Carson Wentz. So,
yeah, for me, even if they're starting Eason, for me, I think the Colts defense and their team overall is just better than the Jags. I think the Jags are just pieces away, and I don't really know. I don't really trust Urban Meyer yet. I need to see it first.
Yeah.
So they're going to finish third. I think they're going to win more games than they have in a little bit, but I think that Trevor Lawrence is – I don't know. I don't want to talk about Rookie of the Year and all that stuff yet, but he's going to be amazing this year. Or not amazing, but I think he's going to have a good rookie year, solid rookie year. They're finishing third in this division, and I have the Colts finishing second. Regardless of whether Carson Wentz is hurt or not, I think Eason's okay, but I believe that the Colts team is good enough to win enough football games to finish second in this division.
Yeah.
You have them making the playoffs as of right now. I think they're like my 7th team in the playoffs at like 9-8, I think is what it is, 9-8 or 10-7. One of the two. I believe that this team.
I don't think 9-8 is going to get you to the playoffs.
Really? I did playoff predictors, and they had when I had it at 9-8. That's what had them in the playoffs. So whatever my playoff bracket looked like, I do believe that this defense is amazing. The offensive line is amazing. The offensive weapons, okay. I mean, Jonathan Taylor's great for sure, but I wouldn't say Michael Pittman and. Your boy Michael Pittman and T.Y. Hilton are necessarily.
And Paris Campbell. Paris Campbell's always hurt.
Right. And their offense isn't like massive, but I just believe that defense is very, very good.
I'm with you too. I got the Colts coming second, and the news on Carson Wentz, obviously, like I just said, it's kind of interesting. We'll see what happens with him. But like you said, Jonathan Taylor, offensive line is unbelievable. So that when in doubt, they can lean on that. They got Naheem Hines coming out of the backfield.
Right.
And even, who knows, Marlon Mack might be able to help out a little bit, even coming off that torn Achilles.
Right.
And then obviously –
sorry. You got it.
No, go for it.
I was just going to say, I also, like, looking at the Colts schedule, I don't care who they have at quarterback. I think they're losing the first 3 games of the season. I think they lose to the Seahawks week 1 at home. I think that they lose to the Rams week 2 at home. I mean, those are 2 really tough home games right off the rip. And then they go to Tennessee week 3 in a division.
Which, speaking on Tennessee, we have them both winning the AFC South this year.
Right.
Hard not to. You got Derrick Henry, 2,000-yard rusher. You just signed Julio Jones, hoping to get the defense a little bit better. Can't forget about A.J. Brown on the outside. Anthony Firsker, the tight end, is going to be a stud with Jonnu Smith bouncing out of there. The only question I have is if they're going to change up the offense or not. I don't think they will. I think they'll still rely play action heavy and give the ball to Henry like an unbelievable amount, because why would you not?
Right.
And I think they're going to be just fine. And A.J. Brown and Julio Jones. I mean, Julio Jones, if healthy, is probably the most gifted wide receiver in the NFL.
Right.
So A.J. Brown's obviously a stud. He's always open. He's gigantic. I mean, and then obviously, I mean, you probably couldn't pay me enough money to try and tackle Derrick Henry coming out of the backfield. So Tennessee's going to win that division.
Yep, I also have Tennessee winning that division. The only thing that I worry about with that team is obviously their defense, like you talked about. That's the only thing that's going to keep them from being. I mean, dude, that team, that offense is good enough to make it to an AFC Championship game. I mean,
yeah,
they did it 2 years ago, weren't they in the AFC Championship game against?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean that team's good enough. That defense is what's really going to hold them back. I'm sure that at the free.
Who knows? Maybe they should go trade for Xavier Howard, cornerback out of Miami. He wants out.
Yeah,
Chandler Jones from Arizona.
They've got to do what they got to do, man. They got to go.
Wait, didn't they sign Bud Dupree?
Did they? Dupree. Yeah.
That's what I thought.
He's on the COVID list right now because he's not vaccinated. But
I don't know how good Bud Dupree is going to be, though. That's my biggest thing is because he was playing alongside TJ Watt. So obviously you have to focus on TJ. Dupree's going to have some free run, but he's a pretty good player.
Right.
But the only thing that I'm concerned about with the Tennessee Titans is A, what they're going to do with the offense, because Arthur Smith is now obviously the coach in Atlanta, and B, is if they can stay healthy, because they've kind of got some guys that have the injury bug. Julio's been bugged up. A.J. Brown last year had a season-ending injury in his ankle, but he decided to play through it, which is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
So if they can stay healthy, then they win that division, I think, and especially with the news on Carson Wentz, I don't know if anybody's going to even challenge him. I think it will be fun, though, to watch, because I think there's going to be teams like Jacksonville, they're going to be chasing points all year. And against that defense on Tennessee, that's going to be a high-scoring game.
Yeah, no, for sure. This division is going to be very interesting going into the year. I don't think that any of these teams are Super Bowl bound, so that's all I have to do to cap off that.
I think this might just be me, but from like watching a football game, this might be like 4 of the most boring teams to watch play football.
100%. That what is it? The Jacksonville the Titans game every Thursday night.
Oh yeah, we get the Polo Rush jerseys, and we get to watch Derrick Henry run 99 yards down the sideline.
Yep.
Just eat everybody's shit for breakfast.
Looking forward to that game. Whenever that game is.
I remember 3 years ago, I dropped Derrick Henry before the Thursday night game, and he rushed for 250 yards or whatever and 4 touchdowns. So
that's just great managing by you, honestly. To be honest, I mean,
well, that was
you're helping out the rest of the league. You're helping out.
It was like week 10, and the dude had not hit his projected points all year, and then he just became a god from that point until now. So,
well, you ready for the top 5 wide receivers, Mitch?
Yeah, I think so. Like we said, we're obviously getting more and more fantasy football, NFL talk as we move on. So I think we'll start doing our top 5 positions, and then we'll do maybe even, towards fantasy football startup, we'll do our top 5 positions fantasy-wise. But we're just going to go who we think our list are the 5 best receivers in the NFL.
Yep.
So you want me to start it off or you to start it off? And we going 5 to 1?
My first.
I'll just go 5 to 1.
Okay. Number 5, I have Michael Thomas. When healthy, he is, arguably one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. This was the guy that I was telling you about earlier that I don't know if you're going to have him in your top 5, but he is somebody that I believe can be the best wide receiver. He was like just 2 years ago, he was the number 1 dynasty wide receiver in fantasy football. I mean, that guy gets so many receptions. He is slant boy, dude, but he does what he does at an elite level. So he is number 5 for me right now. And then
no, I don't have him on there. For number 5 for me, I have Allen Robinson from Chicago. I think it might be a little high for some people, but that dude has never had a good quarterback. Literally never had a good quarterback in his life. He came from Jacksonville.
Come on now.
Trubisky, I was listening to another podcast. They were talking about Trubisky last year when he was throwing to Allen Robinson and Darnell Mooney, and the amount of times that he would overthrow them. They wouldn't even put the ball near. They would freak out. But Allen Robinson is productive as it gets every year. He's a 1,000-yard receiver for I don't even know how many years in a row, and he's just been on terrible, terrible teams, but he continues to produce, and he's always open. So Allen Robinson's number 5 for me.
Number 4 for me, I have Stephon Diggs of the Buffalo Bills. There's not really much I can say besides, dude, he is one of the best route runners that we've seen in a while. That guy is always open, it seems like. I remember watching last year, and he was just, no matter who was guarding him or whether he was doubled in the playoffs, dude, that guy was wide open. So Stephon Diggs, number 4 for me. I believe that he's going to have another great year with Josh Allen. They're going to make a deep playoff run. Stephon Diggs, number 4.
Number 4 for me, so I have Tyreek Hill at number 4 for me. And I don't know what else really to say. He's going to run by you. He's very strong. He'll tell you what he's going to do. He's going to do it. The Chiefs will tell you what he's going to do. He'll do it, and else you can't stop him.
Right.
1,000-yard receiver every year. The only bug I have on him is he's in the red zone. He's not like super useful because he's just so small. So that's kind of my only thing is like when you get down to the red zone. I think that's the kind of thing with the Chiefs too. Is as good as they are, like scoring points and stuff, when they get in the red zone, they don't really have anybody to go up and get the football. Because that's not really Travis Kelce's style of play either. But number 4 for me, Tyreek Hill. I mean, so unbelievably fast, torches people. That game made me want to chop my head off when I was playing against him in fantasy football against the Buccaneers. We had 200 yards in the first quarter. Right. Elite level speed, elite receiver, great route runner. So number 4, Tyreek Hill for me.
Number 3 for me, I have DeAndre Hopkins. That guy has had 6 1,000-yard seasons in 8 seasons. And his rookie year, he was at 814 yards. And then in I need to look that up one more time. 2016, he had 954. Dude, the guy is amazing. I mean, he's another guy that's always wide open, I swear. But yeah, DeAndre, I mean, there's nothing really else that I can say besides the fact that he's one of the best red zone targets that you can have, one of the most sure-handed wide receivers you can have in the NFL. And I mean, he's a top 5 wide receiver in my book.
Yeah, and from number 3 for me, I have Steph Diggs. Where you had him at 4, I've got him at 3. I just think like his ability to always, like you said, always be open is what is going to put him there at number 3 for me. Like he's just a security blanket. They thought he was going to be the deep threat in Buffalo, but he just came in, and whenever Josh Allen needed something, he was right there. He doesn't drop anything. Unbelievable route runner, like you said, always open. Just somebody that you can always count on to get you a first down, get you 10, 12, 15 yards, whatever it might be. So, and I just think Steph Diggs is unbelievable. So he's number 3 for me.
Yeah. Number 2 for me is the guy that you had at number 4. I have Tyreek Hill. Dude, the guy he's another guy that's just always wide open because of his speed.
I think all these guys are always wide open. That's why they're good.
Right, obviously. But like what makes him special is obviously his speed. But what makes Tyreek Hill even better in my book is the fact that he can just run around anyone. And I do believe that having Patrick Mahomes, having Andy Reid is a really big benefit for him, something that a guy like Allen Robinson doesn't have. But
come on, bro.
I can't really knock Tyreek Hill for being drafted into a system like that because that's not his fault. But he is definitely being used to the best of his abilities. But I mean, like you can't argue with 15 touchdowns last year, and he's an amazing special teams returner, and he's someone that I would love to have on any of my teams. So, and like I said, speed kills. So number 2 for me, Tyreek Hill.
So number 2 for me is who you had, I believe, at 3. I've got DeAndre Hopkins at number 2. When you got guys like Jalen Ramsey saying you're the toughest guy in the NFL to guard, I think that just speaks volumes. He's also somebody that has really never had a sound quarterback. Obviously, had 1 or maybe 2 years with Deshaun Watson, but other than that, in Houston, he was all over the place. Like you said, produced 1,000-yard seasons. The dude's hands are just like stick 'em. Right. So that's just remarkable. And then now he's got Kyler and Cliff, which obviously him and Kyler are on a good connection. Right. I think Cliff is okay. I think they could do better, but I mean, if you don't think DeAndre Hopkins is good, why don't you just go watch Week 10, I think it was, or whatever it was against the Buffalo Bills. I mean, Hail Mary to win the game. Like, it's just unbelievable. He's a freak of nature, and he's really not that big. If you guys go look at it, he's like 5'10", 195 pounds. Like, he's not super tall, but he's not afraid to go up and get it, and he's just a freak. So he's number 2 for me.
Right.
And then I think
assume that we would have number 1 the same. If you have him out of your top 5, you're smoking weed. But
I think if you have him out of your top 2.
Yeah, Devontae Adams is the number 1 wide receiver in football right now. Mr. 18 touchdowns last year. That is absolutely insane, dude.
Almost 1,400 yards.
Right. And 115 receptions. Yes. He benefit from having the MVP as his quarterback? Yes. But he is so incredibly talented. He had no other wide receivers that could take,
That's the thing. It's like, the ball is going to him.
Right. And he's still getting the ball. He's still getting touchdowns. I mean, the Rams knew what was coming. He's still scoring. Every team knows that the ball is coming to him, and he's still, he's still wide open. He's got 3 guys on him. He's still open, dude. It's
I mean,
insane.
I agree. Yeah, like we each have him as number 1 wide receiver. And I think what's crazy about him is what he said in the offseason. He doesn't practice running football routes really. He practices playing basketball and that's what he tries to take into the game. Is he looks across from him and he sees a defender as a basketball defender, so he tries to like cross you up almost. And it's just, and he's a guy. I thought he was bigger than this. I looked it up. He's 6'1", but he plays like he's 6'5". He jumps up out of the gym. Obviously, they all do. But he goes up and grabs everything. And him and Rodgers have like this chain. I mean, they look at each other and it's like, okay, yeah, I'll throw it to you here. Yeah. And just go up and get it, run a fade route or run across the middle or something like that. It's remarkable. I mean, great. Obviously, another guy with a fantastic set of hands on him. Right. And I think it's cool too. Like some of these guys, like Steph Diggs, Devontae, maybe Allen Robinson, they're not necessarily like burners, like they're obviously fast and they're great receivers, but it's just their ability to play wide receiver and get open is more like what they kind of do the best. Where Tyreek Hill doesn't necessarily have to focus on getting open and running the most crisp route because you can't catch him. Right.
Agreed.
So I think, yeah. I mean, we had the only guy that we had different was you didn't have Allen Robinson and I didn't.
Right.
I didn't have Michael Thomas, King Slant Boy.
Yeah, I mean, and Allen Robinson definitely deserves. I mean, top 5 wide receivers is honestly a toss up in which way you do it. It's really interesting to see what we have and what other people have.
Yeah,
I do believe that there's some guys on the come up like DK Metcalf, Justin Jefferson, but they're just guys that aren't quite there yet. I mean, they've only been in the league for 1-2 years, so
Calvin Ridley.
Yeah. I believe that there's so many guys on the come up that you can literally have these guys in any order, and I'd be fine with it too. For me,
Corey Davis, Denzel Mims, Keenan
Cole, right, yeah,
anybody that wears
yeah.
I mean, somebody too that I think is not maybe top 5 level, but could be top 10. I think is underrated. Is DJ Moore out of Carolina. Right. He's a stud.
Hopefully, your boy Sammy D can get him the ball this year.
Slinging the pigskin to my guy.
By the way, speaking of DJ Moore, did you see that video of how much candy he brings to training camp?
No.
This guy had a tub about this big of just candy, and he just eats it when he's out on the sidelines. It's like Marshawn Lynch on steroids with Skittles.
That's awesome. That is fantastic.
You love to see guys that are at the most elite level physically eating candy. It makes you feel good about yourself when you're doing it.
I mean, like we said, it's such a toss-up for top 5. We'll be going through rankings, and it's just crazy that there's so many guys that are so good, and they're all good in their own ways, So, one thing real quick I want to talk about that we didn't say we were going to talk about, though, is MLB trade deadline. Let's just hit on this real quick. Absolute madness. The Chicago Cubs said, fuck this. We're not going to play baseball anymore. Here's our whole team. Take it all. Like, they got rid of Anthony Rizzo. They got rid of Ryan Tepera. They got rid of Andrew Chafin, Chris Bryant, Javier Baez, Craig Kimbrell. Like, hello?
Yeah, I don't understand it.
Wilson Contreras is just sitting in the corner like, hey, guys, like, this sucks. Rizzo's on – yeah, I mean, like, what the hell? Like, I don't get it. And now you go send Bryant to the Giants, who the Giants, I don't understand how they're so good like that. If you look at their lineup on paper, you're like, that's last place team. That's what everybody thought. Now they're 21 games over 500, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
And then the Dodgers, let's just see. I don't know. What are they going to do? They're going to get a 3-time Cy Young winner and one of the better shortstops in the game in Trey Turner and Max Scherzer. And it's just like, oh, my God, this was absolute madness. And then Baez goes to the Mets, going to pair up with Lindor. Rizzo to the Yankees, that's disgusting. I hate that. And Kimbrel goes crosstown to the White Sox. So now you got him and Hendricks coming out of the bullpen. That's super fun. If you're a hitter, you're like, cool. I can't wait to face these guys.
Right.
And I don't know. It's just absolute madness. And I did not see – I knew they were going to trade those guys, but I didn't see it like that. And I did not see them wiping their team completely. If you're a Chicago Cubs fan, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. The only thing that I have to say about the MLB trade deadline is the Yankees can blow me.
Gallo?
They can actually like rot in hell. I don't care how much money you have. It is unbelievable what money can buy you. The fact that you can get Joey Gallo, Anthony Rizzo. Who else did they get? Did they get Rougned Odor?
Yeah, but he sucks. He is terrible.
But the thing is, they're just getting all these big name guys, but they're not going to win the AL East. They're never going to win the AL East. They can rot in hell. Sox rule. Kyle Schwarber hitting bombs. Let's go.
Pesky Pole is going to get hammered left and right in BP from that guy. Yankees also got Andrew Heaney from the Angels, left-handed pitcher. The Angels.
Yeah, any Angels pitcher is awesome.
Yeah, well, fun fact: Los Angeles Angels had 20 draft picks in the MLB draft, and they drafted 20 pitchers. So,
we can hit on one. We can hit on.
How about the fact that, real quick, the Mariners traded their closer, who had the best whip in baseball, to the Houston Astros, in which they were playing the Houston Astros. So he was warming up with his team, the Mariners, got traded, and just walked across the clubhouse and was in the new clubhouse where he's on. So that's quite remarkable.
The Mariners are known for doing that. We all know.
They're terrible. And they did trade for Diego Castillo, who's a pretty good reliever, and the Rangers guy hit a walk-off bomb off him last night. So go Mariners.
Yep, that was interesting.
Ready trade deadline. That's that. Crazy. If you're a fan, like I said, if you're a fan of the Cubs, I'm so sorry. You guys did win a World Series 2016 with all those guys, so that means something. Chris Bryant already said he's open to coming back, but I don't think he's coming back now that you guys ditched everybody else.
Right.
And yeah, Red Sox and Rays are battling out Sunday Night Baseball on the night. Catch that on. But is there anything else that you have for this podcast other than what we always finish with now, our new segment?
I only have my bold taken. Please, guys, while we're actually at this, please like, comment, and subscribe. I know we've said it before, but we need to keep putting it in your guys' face. We have 98% of our viewership is non-subscribed people. That is, I mean, that's a little bit too much.
That's brutal.
Yeah. It's free. I promise it's free. I will literally go make 5 different accounts and subscribe for free to our podcast for us to have more subscribers. It's free, guys, please. If you could, we really appreciate it.
Also, if you want in on our cookie bets, if you guys want to be a part of it, like, let us know. Tweet at us. Say, hey, I want to be in on this bet because, like I said, I owe Coby a cookie for last week's NBA mock draft bet. We didn't lay one today, did we?
No, I mean, it's got to be natural. It's like future stuff. I mean, it's hard for me personally to bet a cookie on like baseball stuff. Baseball's a game of, who the hell knows what's going to happen.
It's a crapshoot.
Yeah, it really is. But I mean, there's going to be a lot more cookies on the line for future NFL bets, and I know for a fact come Sundays there will be a freaking party box on the damn line between me and Mitch because of how many freaking cookies that we're going to want to bet on games. But
I'm going to have 15 players get
betting
hurt
against the Jets all year, no matter what. Just kidding. I love Zach Wilson. By the way, I don't know I'm sure you saw this, Mitch. Zach Wilson threw an absolute dime for an 80-yard touchdown to Elijah Moore the other day.
Of course I saw it.
Oh, my gosh. What a beautiful dime. I am excited to watch that. I'm excited for you, man. That's going to be awesome to watch.
Well, I mean, he's committed when he takes the red eye to fly to New York to sign his contract and goes to practice in the same day.
Yeah, good for him. I'm excited.
We got him on contract. It'll be good to watch. Going to get my jersey ordered here soon. And, of course, I'm going to get my Carolina Panthers Sam Darnold jersey, favorite player in the league. But before we go, I don't know what this is going to be. So Coby's turn for the hot take. After last week's hot take, or 2 weeks ago was my turn in the pizza hot take, which I did reverse after Chicago. But, that is not the point of the story. Coby, hot take, hit us.
Mitch, this is going to be quick. We have talked about it this week. Cardinals are making the playoffs this year. Bold take.
Oh, I mean,
Mr. Let me just backtrack real quick, guys. Mitch thinks they're not winning over 7 games. That is the reason why this is a bold take. Mitch, that wasn't the reaction I was expecting, but they are making the playoffs this year.
It's because we had talked about it in depth for like 3.5 hours. We were arguing for it. So
right, but it's something.
No, I don't think they're making the playoffs, and I think 7 games is their ceiling. Like I said to Coby, and you guys heard me talk about this. I don't think Cliff Kingsbury is the guy for that job. They are limiting what they can do. They run so many stupid screen passes. I don't understand why. Kyler Murray is an elite talent. If he can stay healthy, like obviously he's shown what he can do. Right. Their defense sucks, in my opinion. They don't know what they're doing with the receivers. I mean, what are you going to – you have 3 of the same exact receiver right now in Andy Isabella, Rondale Moore, and Christian Kirk. Like, what are you doing? It's the same thing that we talked about with the Sacramento Kings. You draft 3-point guards. They drafted 3 slot receivers. I don't get it. I don't know what they're doing. Chandler Jones wants out their best defensive player. He doesn't want to be there anymore. J.J. Watt is okay. I love J.J. Watt, but he's not what he was. He's hurt. He's hurt again. He hurt his hamstring the other day. They don't have any cornerbacks. And here's the thing too. when Chandler Jones wanted out, I just listened to this today. The Dolphins offered Xavier Howard for Chandler Jones straight up. They said no, so they could have had that. And Isaiah Simmons, obviously last year, if you guys know our podcast and listen to it, we and Coby both said that was the best pick of the draft a couple years ago because of just his value at 8. But he was underwhelming last year. He couldn't learn the playbook, and he didn't play quite a bit. So I just don't think they're going to get it done, and especially in the hardest division in football where they have 3 teams going to the playoffs. So.
Obviously, it's something that scares me, having Watt already hurt and the season hasn't even started, and Jones wanting out. That hurts, obviously, but I do believe, this team just keeps getting better and better each year. Record-wise, at least. I do believe that the offense took a step in the right direction. It's another year with Hopkins and Kyler paired up. Rondell Moore was one of my favorite receivers coming into this year's class. Yeah, it sucks that he's 5'8", 5'6", whatever the hell he is, but he's a good athlete.
I don't think that's – no, I'm not saying it's a problem his size. I'm saying it's a problem that you have 3 of the same player.
Right. No, I understand. But like we talked about, like I sent you, they play the Jags, they play the Vikings, they play the Texans, they play the Panthers at home.
I don't know. We just talked about
the Lions. What?
Yeah, that's a win. But the Vikings are going to light that defense on fire.
Yeah, but it's like the thing is, it's at home. Okay, that the Minnesota defense is trash too.
It's going to be good this year.
And I just believe there's only a couple games that I'm just like, wow, I don't think that they can win. I don't believe that they can go on the road and beat the Browns. I don't believe. I think that they're at least finishing 3-3 in division play. And that's like subpar, and that's still making the playoffs. That'd still be like 9-8, and they'd still make the playoffs at 9-8. I have them.
They'd make the playoffs at 9-8 in that division.
I have them right now at 12-5 is what I have them at. I believe that this team is a playoff team. I think that they're going to finish probably second in the division behind the Rams. And I hope they win the division. You know me, I love Kyler, but that Rams team with that coach, the defense, the offense, everything, I just don't believe they're better than the Rams.
Well, like I said, you got every coach in that division is better than Cliff. Every defense in that division is better than theirs. Arguably, every offense is better than theirs. Like, I don't know.
Mitch is never going to agree, but we'll see. We'll look at this.
Well, you think about people are like, well, the 49ers, this and that. It's like 49ers have arguably the greatest coach in football in Kyle Shanahan.
Right.
And if Trey Lance can develop himself, they went to the Super Bowl with Jimmy G, and Jimmy G missed one pass. The reason they didn't win, obviously they could have played better down the stretch in the second half, but Jimmy G missed a pass that would have won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that was a tough one over there.
That offense with Trey Lance, when you put it on paper, when you look at him, he's a bigger Kyler Murray. Like, he might not be as fast and stuff, but like his ability to run, his ability to throw, he's a supersized Kyler Murray. I'm not saying he's as good as Kyler Murray, but like they play the same style.
And was the number 1 overall pick.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, they play the same style. They both can run. They both can throw. Trey Lance, I get it, FCS, but he turned the ball over one time in his entire career. He's obviously doing something right.
It's impressive.
And then obviously you go to the Rams. You got McVay, who's a genius. You got Stafford. You got is it the best defense in football? It's up there.
Yeah, I'm not saying that the Rams are bad. I'm just saying.
No, I know. I'm just saying. I just don't think. And then obviously in Seattle, you got one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL and a great wide receiver set. And Chris Carson's coming back healthy. Rashad Penny's supposed to be healthy. I just think that.
I just hope that defense steps up first.
If Cardinals are just in a losing situation, it's a really tough division.
No, it really is. But I believe that they're ready to take on the task. I believe that they're gonna make the playoffs.
I gotta ask you. Say they start 1-5. Is Cliff gone?
Mid-season, I just like looking at their schedule. I don't see a way that they.
I think they would lose. I could see them losing to Minnesota. I could see them losing to Indianapolis. So.
Yeah, I don't know. Indianapolis is later, but like.
Yeah, I know. They have to go to.
I definitely believe that Cliff is in the hot seat for sure. This team.
I think if they start 1-4, 1-5, he's out of there.
Yeah, I could definitely see. It's not like Cliff came in with this really nice resume. Let's not get it.
Yeah, I don't.
Here. But
and I think they might have hired him because he was the one that was like, if I had the number 1 overall pick, I'd take Kyler Murray. And they're like, oh, okay, let's hire you.
Let's see what
I don't know, but I don't even know who else they would hire. I guess head coach, but
yeah. Well,
I don't know. So that's your hot take. There you have it. That's episode 17. near and dear to Coby's heart for the number-wise.
17, baby.
Like we said, tweet at us, subscribe at us, be a part of the Big Guy Sports movement. We're here to stay.
Right.
Going to have a couple guests on here, hopefully coming soon. That's going to be fun. We're going to talk more football moving forward. Tweet us if you want different subjects. We are open to anything, but we appreciate the support, and that's episode 17.
Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you all in the next one. Peace.